Hi, welcome back. We have some newbies to me that I purchased from Ulta a few days ago. They just came in. Primarily, I wanted to try this brand called Undone Beauty. I've seen it mentioned in the comments here and there, and I've just been kind of eyeing their selection on Ulta for a few weeks now. Finally narrowed it down. I really wanted to try their concealer palette. They have these kind of cool palettes that are three-toned and they go from like sheer, medium, and full. The concealer was sold out in my shade, unfortunately, but I did get the Lip to Cheek palette, so we've got that going on. Milani came out with some cream eyeshadow sticks. I've been seeing a lot of you asking my thoughts, so I got one color because at this point my collection is thick. It's heavy, it's too much. So I got this nice olive shade we're going to be working with today. And then this is a brand that I've been wanting to try for a while. It's not on the affordable spectrum, but it's a very interesting brand. And it's the brand Rituel de Fille. I got this is something I've been wanting to try. It's their Highlight Intensifier, and it is very intense. But this is a really cool brand. I hope to explore a little bit more this year. They have a very cool vibe, like very like witchy, horoscope, fortune teller, just cool witchy vibes. And I'm down for it. So that's what we got going on today. Let's start. So first thing I got is the UnFoundation Matte Tint from Undone Beauty. And I know what you're thinking. Why matte? What? Who are you? I'm gravitating a little bit more towards matte products because I just don't have to set them. They did have this formula in a dewy formula, but I just decided to go off the rails and try the matte one. So as far as I know, this is probably gonna be like a tinted moisturizer vibe. I got mine in the shade Cream, I think. 425 Cream Light. So let's go ahead, get a little bit here on the back of the hands. I'm tempted to just apply this with my fingers. Oh yeah, that baby's looking sheer. It has tea tree oil in it, so if you don't like that smell, probably not gonna like this, but I find it kind of refreshing. Okay, so right off the bat, Glossier Skin Tint coverage vibes. Like, this is very sheer coverage. I probably should have went up in my color selection because it's quite pale. Now it's definitely a little light on me. This reminds me of something. It reminds me of something I have in my collection and I cannot put my finger on it. Okay. If you remember the NARS Velvet Matte Skin Tint, this is what this feels like formula-wise, not coverage-wise. That definitely had a bit more coverage to it. But you can see we've got one side done here, one side not. It doesn't look too shabby. It does look very natural. Like I can't see it. We cannot see it. We are a little pale, but we'll fix it. This is also something I probably wouldn't even really bother to apply with a brush because it is so sheer. Definitely feel like for me, this is kind of like a slap on and go type product. It does seem to layer up a little bit. Like my first layer seems pretty sheer, and then my second layer does seem to add a bit more coverage. Okay, if you are my skin tone, would definitely recommend going up a shade because this is too light for me. But looking at my skin right now in the mirror, it looks really good. I mean, it looks like my skin, obviously just a little paler. But even given that, like looking at it close up, looking at it further away, it's a very natural finish. I like the finish of this. All right, so like I said, the Undone Beauty Concealer, unfortunately was sold out, but it was sold out in the Cream Light shade. So I'm thinking I probably could have just ordered the next shade up, but we don't have it today. So I'm just going to use my Studio Fix Perfecting Stick. I just pulled out something I hadn't used in a while. I really like this product, and I'm just gonna use it for bit more coverage under my eye, forehead, and nose. I know I'm gonna get asked about this brush because it's perfect, it's beautiful. It's an old school Target brush. The Up and Up brush line that they used to carry, they may still have this, but I know for a long time I couldn't link it because they didn't make it anymore. But that's where this came from. We do utilize our vintage brushes around here. All right, let's warm the face up a little bit. I'm gonna use this Makeup by Mario, just came out with some bronzing sticks. I'm going to use the shade Light Medium. Again, Undone Beauty, they have these really kind of iconic bronzer sticks. They're called water bronzer sticks, I think. Ooh, I had to turn that down. I was looking a little bit like Morticia Addams there. But Undone Beauty, they have these like water bronzer sticks. Of course, they were sold out of those too. So we are supplementing here. This is a newer product. I used it yesterday for the first time. No issues. I will say, I think my Persona one blends out a little bit easier. See how this one's not melting in as quickly? Big fan of that Persona one. Okay, I feel slightly better about the shade of my face now. Okay, let's dig into this bad boy. This is what I'm excited about. So this is Lip to Cheek palette plus glowing giving coconut extract 3-in-1 color cream. So to my understanding, these are different layers of coverage: sheer, medium, full. So let's just give a little swatchy swatch here. Okay, first one, definitely sheer. Okay, well, of course I put this on the freaking worst place I could possibly find on my arm. Okay, so can we see here the top one is very sheer, then we've kind of got a satiny like medium finish, and then the bottom one definitely has the most coverage. I mean, really, just so I'm not like wasting this, I'm just gonna go ahead and pick up the product and use it on my cheeks. This is not a shade I would typically go for. It's very pink. It's in the shade 325 Flare. I think I'm going to continue on with the like fuller coverage one since I am using this on the cheeks. I will not be using this on my lips. I got a couple of other products from Undone that I wanted to try. This formula is very creamy, by the way. Okay, very beautiful. I do like the finish of this. I like the customization and I like the multi-purpose use. So nothing bad to say about that. I did my brows off camera. I just ran some Charlotte Tilbury tinted brow gel through. We're gonna take this bad boy out. Now I will warn you, I have swatched this and it does contain glitter particles. So personally for myself right now, I'm taking a risk. I know a lot of you don't like the glitter finish either, but this brand, I'm telling you, they have some pretty wild stuff, some fun colors, some just fun products in general. And I thought, you know, what the heck, let's give it a shot. So here we go. I'm gonna use my finger think that might work a bit better. Oh yeah. This also kind of has like a tea tree oil scent to it. Okay, so we can see this is pretty intense here. I am going to take, I put a little bit of the blush on this, and I'm going to slightly try to like work this into the skin a little bit more. It's showing very pretty on camera. I will say I had to be kind of tedious while applying it. And I do see the particles. So in person, if that's not your jam, this may not be your jam. It's actually been a hot minute since I even wore highlighter, so I think I'm just, you know, not used to it. Okay, interesting. In person, definitely a little much for my preference. If you are into that ultimate like high shine and the shimmer does not bother you, then you'll probably be down. I got you a little closer here. I myself am not wilding out about it, but fun to try. That's what I'm here for. Oh, and they sent me a little sample of, this is their actual like cream luminizer. So this is their regular highlighter, and it does not have like the shimmer particles. This was solely meant to be topped. Like I should have probably put this on first, but I kind of thought it would be a lot. But it is a highlighter intensifier, so that's why it does have like the high shine particles in it. So I feel like I probably should have mentioned that earlier, but they did send their like just regular cream luminizer. Just thought it would be too much. Okay, time to try this bad boy out. We're gonna see if we can just get away with like a one shadow look. So these are called the Gilded shadow sticks from Milani. I will have to list the color down below. Nothing I purchased has the freaking color on it. I don't get it, but this was the only like olive. It's literally like the olive color. Now I did swatch this and I was very impressed with the color. I love a good swampy olive tone shadow. Okay, the pigment is staying in place nicely. We got some good blendability here. Basically, the way that I judge a lot of cream eyeshadows and their application is the formula shearing out too quickly? Do I have enough time to work with it to blend it out? And this is kind of hitting all the points. I'm able to blend this out. I love when the color stays where you have applied it the most. It also just layered really nicely when I put a second coat down. Okay, forgive me for the poor application on this eye. I literally was acting a fool and just kind of slapped it on. I feel like I can fix it. So these dry down in a pretty good time frame, not too fast, enough time for me to work with them, but they do dry down. I've put a little bit on the back of my hand here. Like these swatches are dry now, so you got a good working time, I would say, on these. Okay, please disregard this eye because I'm an idiot and got a little too crazy. And I'll just be honest, I don't have the patience to sit here and meticulously fix it. My 3-month-old kid's gonna be the only person seeing me today, so overall, let's take it back. Let's take it back. I like these Milani shadows. I mean, this is a formula I can really appreciate because it stays pigmented. It was layerable. It dried in a timely manner, like enough time for me to actually work with it. I'm gonna add a bit of mascara. So rounding things out here, I have 2 more products from Undone. They are lip products. The Light on Lip in Honey Rose. This is kind of like, it appears to be a tinted, maybe like a tinted lip balm. And then this is an actual lip balm, I believe. It's called Lip Life. And I got it in natural beige. I think this is supposed to be like hybrid between a gloss and a balm. So let's give it a shot. I may apply some of my Charlotte Tilbury lip cheat in Love Trap. This is a fun color. This kind of reminds me of the Burt's Bees lip shimmers. This definitely has shimmer in it, but I'm not against that. I'm always normally down with a good shimmery 80s lip. Oh, okay, yes. This has like a silicone tip applicator. So what I'm gonna do is just squeeze a little bit out, I guess. I'm gonna apply it with my finger. Smells like roses. Not really my cup of tea. Okay, rose scent on that lip balm, off-putting. I'm not a rose person. I very seldom like things that have a rose tint, and that seems to be a rose tint, a rose scent. That seems to be pretty heavy. So just forewarning, if you like the rose, you'll be fine with it. But anyways, so final look we got going on here. Very impressed, not gonna lie, very impressed with everything that I tried. This Alchemist highlighter is the only thing kind of throwing me off, and I get it. It's literally meant for intense looks. It would definitely play up a really intense nighttime look, but for everyday, probably not going to be something that I reach for. Milani eyeshadow stick. I think there are 3 or 4 more shades that are more neutral. There were 2 like bronze colors, and then of course like your classic champagne. I'm a fan. Could this be a contender for one of the top cream drugstore eyeshadow formulas? Possibly. We're gonna keep playing around with it. So Undone Beauty, hey, I'm DTF. I'm definitely willing to try some more products. Definitely want to try that water bronzer stick that they have, and also the concealer palette too. So I hope you enjoyed seeing some of these products in action. Let me know if you've tried Undone. Let me know if you've also tried Rituel de Fille, because I definitely feel like I'm gonna be investing. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.